Hey everyone. So if you come to my office hours, this is pretty much my Zoom setup. So this will become familiar to those of you who come on Wednesdays. I wanted to make this video as a welcome and to show you a couple basic things because it's easier to kind of show in video format some of the things in D2L. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Okay, so you should be able to see what I am seeing. All right, so I posted an announcement for you guys. This may not be your course number. You might notice a difference. I'm just going to do this course, but same information applies. I created this announcement. Actually, just go back to the welcome screen so that you could see some of the tasks that I want you to complete this week. And this is basically, these tasks are the same, tasks that are listed on that document that you may have looked over already. If you haven't seen it yet, this is the Getting Familiar with 101 Online. I posted this a little while ago, just letting you know that I would like you to get to know each other by posting on the Getting to Know You board. I've seen some people post already. I've responded to some people post already. So it's really nice that that's there. These are the areas I asked you to look over. The instructor information, I'm going to go over that again. Syllabus and calendar and policies. So that calendar that's available to you guys, that is going to have this same basic information. I've just broken it down slightly differently. So I will post this video. That'll be probably the announcement after this one so that it'll pop up first thing so you can watch this video and then look over this announcement. I wanted to, in this video, explain to you that this is the basic layout of how announcements will be. So typically what I'm going to do is I will create an announcement on Mondays for you to look at that give you a reminder about my Zoom office hours, about the assignments that will be due at the end of the week typically. There's a few assignments because this is such, and I've had some questions about this already, because this is such a short class. We only have 10 weeks to cover a lot of material. I typically have everything due on Sundays, but since we're doing this in a compressed amount of time and I want to give you time to wrap the course before the Sunday before it's actually over, what we're going to do is most of your assignments will be due on Sunday nights at midnight, but there's 2 at the end that will be due on Wednesdays instead. So you can see all that information in the calendar. The calendars have been inputted now, so you can see this calendar widget is going to tell you what's going on. I'm going to show you a couple things that might be helpful with that as well. So typically what you're going to have when you open up the Monday announcement is you're going to have a breakdown of what you need to do, what actual assignments, graded assignments that are due by Sunday, those things that are in bold on the calendar. These are some tasks that I want you to complete by Wednesday. And the purpose of completing them by Wednesday is to force you through the first part of the week to make sure that you're getting things done. And also because on Wednesday, I'm going to have office hours. So if you've already done these things, you may want to plan to do some of them by Tuesday, at least look at them, at least do some of them by Tuesday, so that if you have any questions, you can hop onto my office hours on Wednesday. If something happens and you're like, no, I couldn't get this stuff done by Wednesday night and office hours are already over, one of the things I've mentioned in a couple different places is that you are more than welcome to email me so that we can have one-on-one Zoom meetings outside of those office hour times. Those are just the times that are going to be available. The tasks to complete by Wednesday are typically things like discussion boards, reading over assignment sheets, looking at PowerPoints. And then sometimes the PowerPoints I will often categorize under this resources to review, because really you can do this at any point during the week, but you do need to do it. I would recommend earlier in the week rather than later, because this video helps you figure out the basic structure of an essay. This helps you figure out how to write an effective thesis statement. I might include PowerPoints here. I might include videos I make for you here. I might include samples here. This resources to review, these are going to be things that are helpful in giving you a general idea of what to learn before you start a week or a task. This, for instance, PowerPoints that might be general information that you're going to need for your quizzes. I think there are 3 quizzes. Unit 1, Unit 2, and Unit 3 each have a quiz. That's the kind of PowerPoint that's going to be available under this resources to review. So this is what a typical Monday announcement will look like. I will post a second announcement on Wednesdays. So get in the habit of checking your announcements. It's going to be a bi-weekly situation, Mondays and Wednesdays. The Wednesday announcement, and again, I will post that either before or possibly during my office hours. So if you're noticing it coming in and you have a question about what the announcement means, you can always hop on the office hours, particularly since the office hours are going to be open. It's going to be the same office hours for all of my classes. It's just going to be like kind of an open Zoom situation. If you have questions for me specifically, you want to talk about something where we need to go into a breakout room where you're like, I don't want people to hear me asking all these questions about my planner. I want people coming in and out. That distracts me. We can separate into breakout rooms. But the Zoom meeting is typically just me. It's going to be me sitting here at the desk. If nobody shows up, it'll just be on with my little picture up. Actually, I want to show you that picture. So if you ever log on, I'm going to stop the share. If you ever log on and you see this, it means that I'm sitting at my desk. I just probably working on something because nobody is there right now. And I don't want to leave a picture of me, just a video of me staring into space or my kid in the background, all of those fun things. So if you see this, I'm there, send me a chat. Sometimes you might have to send me an IM too. Sometimes if the chat window is minimized, it doesn't always pop up here the way that I would like it to. But if you log on and this picture is happening, it means that I'm either sitting at my desk doing something else or I'm in a breakout room. So just hang out. And if you need, you can always contact me. Let me know, hey, I'm online, I'm on Zoom, and I will try and find you. So I want to show you guys a couple things about that. Actually, I'm going to share again, share screen. And just some practical D2L stuff. So this is the basic breakdown. Let me finish talking about the announcements. This is the basic breakdown of a Monday announcement. A Wednesday announcement is going to be more along the lines of, okay, here's the task that you have coming due, and I'm going to have advice that will probably help specifically with that and resources that will help specifically with the assignments that are coming due. So this is like a general overview, things that you need to do on your own for the week, resources you need to look at for the week. And then this is a reminder of assignments due by Sunday. And again, this will be at the tippy top of both announcements of the assignments due by Sunday. I will remind you, or like assignments in the couple cases, assignments due by Wednesday with a date. And if you look over here, you'll see right here, thesis and outline planner, thesis and outline due. So a couple things I want to show you guys about D2L if you don't know already. So I feel like pretty much everybody knows this, but I'm going to do it anyway. If you go to, sorry, I clicked on the wrong thing. If you go to your profile, you can add information. You can add a picture if you feel like, you know, having some personality. And if you go to notifications, you can use the Pulse app. I don't use the Pulse app, probably should. I don't use the Pulse app, but I did mention my email is connected to my phone, so I do get emails on my phone. You can choose to get instant notifications about things, and I would recommend that you choose new announcement available, because sometimes, depending on what's going on in my life in this crazy time, we're almost open, but not quite. I don't know when my son's going back to school. I don't know when my husband's going to go back to work full time. He's working sometimes now. You're probably in the same boat. So flexibility is really key at this time. That's why if you need to meet me at a different time than my Zoom office hours, that's totally fine. But because of that, I know that we're all kind of doing things on the go. It's a good idea to choose new announcement available, because maybe something happens and on Wednesday, when I would typically post an announcement early in the day, I might have to push it back and post it later in the day. Maybe I have to post it on Thursday. Typically it'll be Monday and Wednesday, but just keep this reminder up to keep you sort of current with what's going on with the announcements. If you want, there are other things to choose on here. The one that I think might be helpful for you guys, assignments, assignment due date or end date is 2 days away. I would recommend that. And quizzes, quiz due date or end date is 2 days away. I have set for all of the quizzes a start date So they're going to start, you'll have access to anything that's a quiz. And some of the questions that you need to answer are in quiz format. Anything that is in quiz format will open on the Monday and will be due on a Sunday. I think that's, except for the one source that's due, the one that's due on a Wednesday. So they'll open on Mondays typically. They will have a due date, and then 2 days after the due date, they'll end. So you will not have access to them anymore. And that ties back to the English department late policy that we're going to cover in a minute. But to keep you on track, if you're having trouble with that, if the calendar widget is something that overwhelms you, you can always choose these reminders so that you know when things are coming due. So I would maybe recommend choosing this and choosing this. Those would be the 3 things that I would definitely choose. And you guys, so that's all through email. I'm going to go ahead and recommend, highly recommend you check your Del Tech email because that's one of the best ways for communicating. It's certainly the best way to communicate with me. But you can also see that here, the SMS, you can choose to get text messages about these things if you prefer on your phone. I can't click on them because I didn't add my SMS because I am the one who created the quiz date, so I don't need to be getting text messages all the time about when the quizzes are due. So those are just some things I'd like you guys to consider. At least email and probably text, especially if you have trouble keeping track of due dates. If you don't, if you're always logged in, fine, whatever. So another thing I wanted to show you is if you choose this little envelope, you can email directly. You can also go to instant messages, and something that's helpful about this instant messages thing is that you can see in the class list, we can see that almost everybody's online. Oh, hi, Shanti is online. I'm not stalking you, I swear. But you can see that little green button means that it'll tell you online, offline. If it's green and it says online, it means that the person is online. So this is, obviously you can't see my name in this list because it's my account, but you guys will be able to see my account. So you can tell if I'm online. This is also helpful for me. If I lose you on Zoom, I might go on here and be like, I see that you're online. So this is a way of IMing. So you can just choose, and you can IM somebody if they're offline. So Margot, we're gonna, yeah, I can send a message just like that. The way that it will pop up is there will be a little orange dot on the envelope. So keep an eye out on that. If one of those pops up, it might be me saying like, hey, I see that you're online. You didn't turn a thing in. What are you doing? So that's actually just a helpful thing that not many people know about D2L that you can use to kind of know like who's online. Oh, it's, you know, 11:45 and I have to turn this thing in and I really need to know how to cite this thing in APA. Let me check and see if any of my classmates who might know are on. That's kind of a helpful way of telling. Okay, so I wanted to show you those couple of things. And then the other things I just want to briefly go over. Are over here. So this, and again, my screen's going to look a little bit different than yours because I'm the teacher, so I have all these other documents, but you should only be able to see this really. If you click on the 10-week summer calendar, this breaks things down for you. This is what you'll be doing in the first week. Over here, this is, so what I have it broken down into Wednesday. I changed the language a little bit so that it's hopefully less confusing now, or hopefully it's clearer now. The Wednesday tasks and assignments, these are things I'd like you to do by Wednesday, at least by midnight. The Sunday assignments are things that need to be completed at midnight. And so you can see that the majority, here it says all bolded assignments must be submitted through D2L. The things in bold are the things that you're actually turning in to get a grade on. So you can see that a lot of times you'll have tasks to do during the week and an assignment on Sunday. Tasks to do, you can probably hear my son in the background. Tasks to do on the week, due by Sunday. During the week, due by Sunday. These won't stay highlighted, they're only highlighted because I need to figure out what articles we're gonna read. Tasks to do, due by Sunday. And you can see down here, here are the two I was talking about. See how these things are in bold. So the source evaluation worksheet, the critical analysis planner, and the critical analysis essay, those things are going to be due by Wednesday. just so that we can keep everything moving towards the end, because we only have a very short 10 weeks. So for the most part, your things are going to be due on Sunday, but it is going to shift a little bit. I will remind you of that in the announcements every single week. Here's what's due this week. Here's when it's due. So keep an eye on the announcements. The other thing I wanted to show you under getting started was just my information. This is the best way to reach me. I have a Google Voice number, so you can call and leave messages. Nobody's used it. So if you're like, I left you a message, and I'm like, oh, I didn't get that. I've tested it with my husband multiple times, and it appears to be functional. So feel free to use that. I can't guarantee I'm going to answer it immediately because I'm probably just going to assume it's spam. So my virtual office hour, but I will check the voicemail. The virtual office hours, Wednesdays, 9 through 11 a.m. on Zoom. So that's going to be the time when I am most available, and I'll just have a Zoom window up. Here's the link right here. It's always going to be this link. I will post it in the Monday announcements, but it's always going to be this link, and it's always going to be this password. I am ready to schedule individual Zoom conferences as needed. You can expect an emailed response to questions within 24 hours. My email does go directly to my phone. Sometimes I'm not as great about it on the weekends. Sometimes it might take within that 24-hour frame. It might be like close to the wire because I am right now staying with my son and teaching a couple other online classes for various institutions. Also, I included something called Ask the Instructor discussion boards. I'm going to show you guys that next. Yeah, is there anything else I wanted to do in here? No, yes, I did. We'll do policies and we'll go to discussion boards and then I'll let you go. So the policies. This is the English department policies. I don't like the way that this is set up. Here we go. So if you didn't open this, here it is, the English department policies. Assignments can be accepted 24 hours late for a highest possible 90% and up to 48 hours late for a possible 75%. Any assignment completed up to a week late may be considered for a highest possible 50% at the discretion of the instructor. Typically, my discretion is no. We only have 10 weeks, and the longer it takes for me to try and get people to turn things in, the harder it is to get things graded, to get things posted. You really need to keep an eye on your, oh, give me 1 second. I think my son is about to make an appearance. Nope, went back to what he's doing. So when you are turning in things late, it's backing everything up, and we don't have time for that in a 10-week class. So you should always email me if something's going on. You should always let me know if you are having an issue. Let me know sooner rather than later. Don't tell me at the end of the semester, well, I didn't tell you this, but X was happening in my life. Tell me as soon as possible, then we can make plans. I would rather make a plan than try and like go back and figure out afterwards how to make a plan once everything's over, and it might be too late. So typically I'm going to go ahead and say that my discretion is going to be no, turn it in within that time frame. That's why the cutoff date for all assignments is 2 days after the due date. Once it hits 2 days after the due date, the assignment, you can't get into the link anymore, you can't do the quizzes anymore, you can't submit the documents anymore. This is just the academic honesty and plagiarism policy, which reminds me, I will be enabling Turnitin on your papers. So that's just a way to double check plagiarism. In this particular 101 course, we're going to all be working with the same materials. So I'm probably going to be pretty good at catching plagiarism. But, you know, don't plagiarize. Don't take your assignment straight from somebody else. I have had that happen before where it's like, this is the exact same planner. Don't do that. Okay, so don't let people look at your planners. I'll give you sample planners. Don't ask other people for help and stuff like that. Okay, so that's the policies. Now I want to talk about the discussion boards, and I swear I'm gonna let you go. Okay, so discussion boards. This is what I meant about playing around. You can typically access things in multiple places. So for instance, if you go here, the discussion boards, I actually don't usually link at all. I usually just go to them. But you can see that if you want to look at, you know, your thesis outline planner, there's a place under content where you can submit it. It's also listed under activities in the assignments. It is in all of its glory, thesis and outline planner. All the due dates are listed there. So I'm going to go over to activities and I'm going to choose discussions and show you discussion boards. So I got some people saying, hey, this is the getting to know you board. This is a great place to introduce yourself. I gave you some prompts that hopefully will be interesting. And then I have this other board called Got a Question, where you can ask me a question or you can ask a peer a question. And I've done these, I did these last semester when we switched to being online from face to face, and people didn't really utilize them. I think it's a nice place to, like I said, post things that might be relevant, post things that might be funny, ask questions that you think your peers might know. Remember I said appropriate because this is all public. Ask questions of me that you think that other people might have. I highly recommend using these. They're not the most timely. So if you have like an urgent question, I would recommend emailing me or sending me an IM or both, honestly. But this, I think, is a really good forum for questions that you might have. Like, can you just go over APA something or other again? And I will, and I'll post examples and things like that. So those, I believe, let me look at my little checklist. Yeah, those are the basic things that I wanted to show you guys before the class starts. So if you have any questions, if you just want to introduce yourself, you just want to say, hey, you want to put a face to the name, please hop on the Zoom, the link that I have, it's posted in the announcement and that's posted in my information. Hop on and say hi on Wednesday. Feel free to send me an email. Feel free to send me an IM just to check in. I'll be checking the Getting to Know You boards. I'm glad to have you as a student this semester. All right, stop sharing. Oh, actually, before I go, if you ever notice that the links are not working, if you notice a broken link or I've recorded a video and the audio wasn't working or the video wasn't working at all, if the links to your assignments are not actually connecting, please let me know. One of the problems with D2L is that we can't always see the same stuff you guys see. So even if I switch to student view, I'm not getting the same real-time view as you are. That's actually really annoying with feedback. I'm going to try and see if one of you wants to be a guinea pig so that I can show you guys how to look at your feedback. So it's a little bit tricky sometimes in D2L. Part of being a good critical thinker is having intellectual humility. It will not hurt my feelings if you're like, Michelle, we couldn't hear you on that video. Or like, Michelle, none of these links work. Because I might not know. So let the people know. Tell me if you're having some issues.